Right, we've come to this bridge here. We've got a few places to check the day, but we know there's like generally a dippers in this wall here, so
I mean, it's still just middle of March, but
it's early enough, like,
we've funded them end of March when young, haven't we?
Aye.
So
I've seen a few others online where they've actually got eggs, so there's a chance. We've just got to try and climb down here and cross our. Aye. Right, we've come to another place, Blackbird or something.
We've just come from where we went to check the dippers, but the stream was a bit flooded, so we couldn't really get across the look, could we?
It looked out from on top of the bridge, didn't it? But by the time we got run, we couldn't get into where the nest was.
We had seen the dip on the.
It would have been worth getting wet for, but there was no sign and out. Because we could look into it from the other side, and the nest still looked a bit old and that.
In a few weeks or something.
Aye.
But we're going to check here. There's a tree where. What was the last thing? A stock dove, was it a stock dove?
There was a stock dove, but before that, the tony owl used it, and it was a tony owl for years, wasn't it? And then.
Yeah, it hasn't been for a while, though, has it? Yeah, that's what it mostly was for years, wasn't it?
Aye, for a long time.
But
down here we have found missile thrushes just on the path. So we're gonna look to see if that's there.
It's probably not too early for them, like, is it?
Aye. It had big chicks last time we found it. I'm sure that was March or the beginning of April when it had chicks and all.
Maybe it's just a few weeks from
Aye.
This time of year. Right, it's like the middle of March, isn't it?
Aye.
But
pigeon. We've come a bit further down the path. I put this camera on because
we're hearing missile thrush. Before there's a bit of a nest in there, but to be fair, it's hard to say if it's like something from last year, if it's something possibly just building. It's hard to really say, isn't it?
We're not 100% on. There's a lot of moss hanging there.
I mean, if we come back in a week or so and look
a bit more substantial, because it just looks like half a nest there, doesn't it? But it's a replace for one, like. Because the other year we found one just across there in them trees, in the Viva tree. That had big chicks, and that was in end of March, early April. I think it was mid-April.
We haven't had much luck here. We're going to check those now, but
there's too many people. We had to come back.
We couldn't really see anything, could we? You had to stand right back, but it seems as though holly bushes grew, it's kind of
blocked the entrance.
So we couldn't really see anything.
I think the trees grew a bit now since I was a kid.
Oh, it's definitely big old beech tree, wasn't it?
Aye.
This time of year, like I mean, it is hard pushed to find something this time of year anyway.
Oh, aye, definitely.
But we'll try.
Oh, we're out here, we're trying. We've got another couple of places to go on. We've still got plenty of time. We're just coming down that path there, and as we're coming down around Florida here, we can see the moss. It's very early.
Probably this year.
Right. Doesn't look very good, like, but I've definitely seen the bird. I think the ones are on this side, just under there. I can see it from here. It's just a bit hidden, but it's like in the middle of there, and I didn't want to go in because the bird flew out and it flew across the path into that tree over there. I got Mare's luck on the way down. Could be on building. They build multiple nests, don't they?
Well, the ones aren't used, they didn't line them.
They didn't line them, I think it's a male that just can't run building loads of. Now just up here in these trees,
there's dozens of little birds feeding. There must be the new little buds coming on the bird. I can't make out what they were. See, it's the same thing.
They're just that little bit too far away from, aren't they?
I think they're some kind of finch, are they?
There could be the red poll, like. I mean, that's just at a guess because we cannot see them.
If you zoom in, well, you'll be able to tell when you get back down there.
Aye.
When you have a look, you kind of zoom in.
They're just that little bit out of reach. And plus, we can only see a silhouette of them.
But there's a load of them. I'm just trying to see what
I'm trying to get a couple of them in In view, I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, the
there.
woodpecker going there in the background.
Ah, I can hear it like.
I keep saying, you know, I don't know. We're supposed to be bird watchers and we'll never remember to bring binoculars.
I've got a pair in the seat behind the car, like behind the seat in the car.
It's just...
Aye.
And then once I would have probably been able to see them, but your eyes has just gone that little bit, so you
Can't quite make them out, aye.
from that distance.
But there is quite a few of the little things.
Oh, it's a country.
They look like the little red paws, like from what I can see.
It's hard to tell because I've just seen like a glimpse one that looked quite light.
They're just that little bit far away, aren't they?
You should be to, did you zoom in on some?
Aye, I've still got it on.
You should be to tell once you get in and have a look.
Aye.
So people will just ignore what we're trying to set out as we really cannot see them.
Aye, it's a bit hard to make them out from where we are. Because if I like pan the camera back out, you can see
There's a load of them.
they're a good distance away. I've got a couple of them in view there, like, I mean, quite small on the viewfinder, but I'm at the maximum zoom on the camera as well. Got one nicely in the middle there.
So you
So
can't even,
it's just dropped you a picture. But there's... I'm getting on to a few of them there, so we'll be able to see what they are.
I'll have a look when we get back.
Aye. Just makes a change to see something completely different. Right, we've come a bit further round. We're gonna... This little path takes we're doing to the pond. The big pond, we're not saying out in the woods. It's definitely a bit too early up this far north, isn't it?
Kind of thought it would be.
Aye. Right, we're probably a couple of weeks early. We even checked the stock doves along the other end. We forgot to film it, you know, but there was nothing in it. There was just like bits of leaves in the hole. What had fell in. There's no construction of a nest on now.
It is a bit early. It's probably 9 people.
Aye.
But like you say, in a couple of weeks' time, it should be.
Aye. We're at the pond. I can hear the chip chop up there. Aye, I think that's the first one we've heard.
Saying it could be together in a few weeks, but there's a one.
Aye.
This.
We're normally going there.
Wait, it's normally
Aye.
the tree across there. That's where we'll fund the.
I can see a couple of ducks in the water behind the tree.
Where?
Like, do you know that tree what's split?
Oh,
off?
right, and see
You can see the ripples in the water. Aye.
What's that different? But that tree, what you can see, split out of now you can get on it, but that's where we'll fund the tree creepers in the.
In the second split to the left, isn't it?
Grey tit, or was it a blue tit?
There was a blue tit in it one year. There was a tree creepers in it one year. There was, I think last year, a wren built in the split. We've got them all on video, like what had built there. But
Fairly flooded,
oh, it's ruined there. No, that's going to take some drain on that. Because it got flooded a few years ago and it lasted all year.
We've never really funded that much in there.
Yeah,
apart from that, it's been quite dead.
Apart from that, aye, that's all it was.
I mean, up on the bank, further across, we've fund like things up in.
There's a footpath along the top.
Bits,
It was all brambles and that. Aye.
There's a chip trap.
Right. Singing its little merry head off.
There should be kind of nesting in a few weeks then. Was it quite early nesters, aren't they?
We'll have fun then at like early
April.
Aye, early April. Very early April. Oh, it'd be hard to see when they never sit still either, do they? I've just got the camera on the pond here just in case, you know, that the Canada goose might come back on you. But there's always a grebes doing there and there's always coots.
Since we've had goose, wasn't it?
Aye. We did find it 2 years, like 1 year it was there and then 2 years later it was there again. But then it's never been back since.
I think we'll maybe, there's a path here we normally kind of get through because it's too overgrown. But when it being still pretty much winter,
Winter, we'll
it's
get.
quite flat. We might get through there, you know.
Aye, we'll go through that.
We'll have a look at the pond and then we'll see what
Aye.
we're going back. There might be a chance I could just see our pigeons or.
Aye. I'm just looking in this course, see if there's any langies in it, any langtails.
We did find one the other year, but it was already pulled out. Wasn't it?
Aye, it had been predated as usual. But there could be on either side, like.
But we'll have fun. We never really seem to do well the long-tailed tits.
It was just last year we found one and all in here.
Most of them were fine. Get a.
Oh, I'll get predated, like. Aye, there's not many of them get away. Unless it's in a garden or somewhere. But the woodland ones, you know, there's too many predators in the wood for them. The ones in the gardens and that seem to do quite well. Like is it the urban ones?
This pond's quite flooded
compared to what it normally gets, huh? I'm keen to see if there's any frogs spawning there and frogs and that, like.
Is it not too early? No, it's not, is it?
No, they should be spawning there, if anything.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm just getting paying me back. It never happens very often with our sciatica.
Aye.
All of a sudden it just come on there and I'm like, like just soon die. Wait.
This has changed a bit. That was all deep. Well, I cannot see a single tadpole anywhere now.
Well, the tadpoles probably wouldn't patch you.
Aye, not be yet, like, but
I can't even see any frogs there spawning up, can you? It might just be a little bit early, isn't it? I don't know.
They could have a spawn in the reeds and that, like, you know, in the shallows. It might be hiding. And then when they hatch out, they come into the edge where it's warmer water, don't they? But we can't even. I haven't even heard a bird on the pond yet, like a coot or. And there's always coots.
Pretty dead.
It's like proper winter. We'll get a couple of sunny days and like, let's go bird nesting.
We're now that it's too early.
But there's the early nesters though, you get the.
I think a bit doing south, but up here it's
Aye.
like a little bit later, isn't it?
Aye. There's the likes of the rooks, the magpies, the crows.
Well, you've seen it walk past it.
Tawny owls and that. Aye.
But you never really get a film.
Oh, and that was on the main road, wasn't it?
House next to it. It was built in a public places now.
It's rare to find one in the middle of the wood somewhere. Like for us anyways.
Like graveyards or...
We're going through the woodland path on the way back just in case we see anything different. We're just zooming in onto a rookery here. It's
about how we're going to get out. Because I was on private land, aren't it?
It's probably about 500 yards away from where we are. We're across one end of the field. We can't really get over there, but
they probably will have eggs this time of year, won't they?
Aye, they will have.
Early, aren't they? Right, just like the crows, we can maybe something like that.
Aye.
It'll just be the same as the crows, wouldn't it? Yeah, a bit earlier even.
Well, probably a little bit earlier. The rooks, I've seen them like in February, aren't they? I've seen with crows sometimes, like, but. And jackdaws, all of them.
That'll definitely be a one we'll never get to look and see because I was on private land, I was super high up.
That's a huge old. Is it a beech tree? Is it?
It's hard to tell from here. It's hard from here.
I cannot tell. Yeah.
I don't think it's a beech tree.
No, it's too uniform, isn't it? It's different.
But I don't think we'll ever be filming inside one of them.
Oh, no.
I know we did when the crows, but that was relatively. It was just a little tree, really, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a small bit. It was a good one, that one.
Like kind of branches all the way up, so you were climbing up ladders.
That was a good one. Too far in. just to give us like half an idea of where we are. Quite far back.
I'm saying that, you know, you're saying 500 yards. I bet it's more like,
Active now.
what, 300 yards?
Probably 3. I'd say 500 is probably up the top of there, isn't it?
I reckon I could sprint in 20 seconds. Yes.
Maybe when I was like 16 or something. No, not even that. I didn't think I could. I could come down the hill quite faster. There's a few straggler rooks like on the and some other trees around the back of there.
There's that big old tree stuck in there.
Aye, that's what I was looking at. Is, you know, that would be a good one.
You know what I've seen
Because there's rooks in the field as well. That they're all over the place.
it's that long since I've seen a rook's egg. I mean, probably when I was a kid. I don't know, they're the same size as crows or they're bigger a little bit, or
just run about the same size. I think a carrion crow might be a bit bigger.
and there's not really much difference in the look, or like, you know, the
Um,
colour and pattern or not, or
the D,
it's
I
that
can't
long.
remember.
I don't even think I've looked at one in the book, you know.
I was looking at the pictures of them on Facebook last week, but I'd never seen them before, you know, before this, for like a long time, since we were kids.
But it's been a while, like, you know, that long, really, like. I don't know what they're doing now, Aye, I just thought we'd show anyway. Since
Puts a little bit extra on the
we're
video.
fun out else, you know.
I know. We'll have to get something worth putting in. Because we're nearly back in the car. We've got one more thing to check. Right, we've come to the tree, the old oak. We've only checked it for the last 4 or 5 years. The mystical hole in the tree. It's a good one. I don't know why nothing uses it. It's more than big enough for hole. I just didn't like coming around. Probably crap myself if someone jumped out. Because it goes around and into the left. I can't really tell. Well, we've been doing there, we've had a look at that. It was nothing in it. Oh. We just haven't seen or heard a lot. We're definitely a couple of weeks too early, like that. But it's been a while, like, and you know, we've checked a few. We'll give them another couple of weeks and check again. Just when we're not everything's nesting. We're just that far up north, it's too cold.